Hello and welcome along. In this mod spotlight, we are going to be taking a look at the Fiatagri 14090. It is by Red Wolfgang and STV Modding and is released as part of Giants Mod Contest 2017. It is frankly beautiful. The modelling is top notch and the textures are absolutely stunning. There are lots and lots of options to this. I've only got one tractor in here because there's only one engine set up, but the customization around the tractor beyond that is fairly extensive, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. We got the Pirelli tyres on here, so those are custom textures, and it's absolutely cracking mod. This really detailed and really gorgeous, and no obvious what I would call sharp bits that shouldn't be. There aren't many bits that are circular, or that are arcs, which kind of helps that. But yeah, it does look gorgeous. This mod really does. And if we have a look inside, right down to the headlights. Those headlights are amazing. I've had some mods that have just had flat and horrible headlights, and some that have had ones like this, which are stunning. And yeah, fantastic model this. And it continues inside the cab. A really fantastic level of detail in here. That just looks awesome. It has IC control. And I love in this we have the New Holland stroke Fiat symbols as the IC. It's turn off and turn on with the button. And yeah, various things you can do. So door open, and there's sounds on the IC. I complimented the Fent 800 on this. I said it was the first one I'd come across, and I'm amazed that the very next mod I tested has the same thing. Sounds on the IC, so simple and so amazing. Really helps bring it out. So doors open. That is the sunroof control. So that opens. Rear window, side windows. Fantastic. And then we have, along the front here, an interesting set of IC controls. So if I go through them one at a time, so if I press that takes off the side panel. And then the next one along, so if we then go there, puts the side panel along the front there, which is quite interesting. It is the one issue I think I have with the mod, where if I do that, I put the side panel back on and still have the side panel off the side. So there is an issue. I don't quite understand why these are separate. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yeah. And actually that's interesting in that I pressed the second one, and that does the on and off, but I'm not quite sure what. So that just, I don't know whether the mod is having trouble catching up with me, or so I think one of them just takes it off and the other takes it off and puts the side panel on the front. Okay, so it's a little bit weird. I can understand why it does what it does now. To be perfectly honest, it's if you're looking to take the side panel off, then you probably won't be doing both. But it's nice to have the option there. But yeah, it's a little bit odd to me. But still great. Nice to have that functionality. Nice to be able to see in the in that engine. And actually, while we're doing that, let's take the side off again and have a look inside there. because look at that detail. There's some gorgeous detail in there. So I wouldn't. So that there. Now I understand what it's there for. I wouldn't call that a bug or an issue. It's another option. So it's quite often, it's not a bug. It's a feature. It's something that you hear in programming every so often, and yeah, I think that applies here. That's not a bug. That's a feature, and it adds something to the mod rather than detracts from it. So yeah, that's really cool. That it has that option is cool. I was very skeptical of it to begin with. So things you can do on the outside. So something I found was you can add and remove weights. So on my wheel, I have the options. Let's see if I can find them. Yeah, there we go. So you can add and remove quite a bit of weight. So you got no weight. And it tells you in here how much weight you have. So 600 kg, 1000 kg, 14 and 18. And the 18 is really quite meaty. Sort of 2 sets of weights on the front. I love that. I love that on a tractor like this, you can have the weights. It'd be nice if the weights had come separately and you could have attached them to do it. But yeah, I can understand why not. And then for lights wise, so headlights, normally work lights and front work lights. So a good array. Yeah, I like that. Those all work well and look really good too. So right indicator, left indicator, brake lights, which are great, and beacons, which flash alternately, which is quite nice, and hazards. So all the lights work well and look good as well, which is pretty important. So if we start it up, now that is not a standard in-game sound as far as I know. There is something else that I really love. The exhaust wobbles. There you can see it. You can see it there. It's wobbling, and I'm just wondering. It doesn't. Yeah, it wobbles slightly faster if you accelerate. So I love the sound, and I love that, and I love the fact that the smoke goes black if you put your foot down. So really, there's a lot of really nice touches to this mod. Lots of stuff that really sort of adds to it. And this is only the 3rd mod. Oh, let's have a look at the front bar does move. Not as much as some move, but it does have front suspension on the bar. There's a nice bit of detail underneath. You don't often get that you get some detail underneath. So that's a nice touch. We're kind of stuck on the hill a little bit. We're stuck on the hill a lot. We've lifted a tyre, that's why. Yeah, not many tracks get stuck on here. But I think it's the angle I've come up at. And because the suspension, I think this is to do with the front suspension. So maybe that would be an issue I would have with this. I think the front suspension doesn't move enough. Which is a minor issue, but an issue nonetheless. So we will add the 4-wheel drive on, and that will get us out of this stick. But yeah, so I think that the suspension doesn't appear to move enough, but it's nice. It's very nice. So as I was saying, there are very few. Yeah, you can see the suspension not moving much. There are very few mods. In fact, I've only come across 2 other mods that are properly 5-star mods. I think I've actually said that in the reviews I've said there's 3, because the Velmet was a really fantastic mod, but it was just a 5. This, like the TW 25 and 25 pack, and the Fendt 800. This is properly a 5-star mod, and yeah, I would have a hard time picking between these three. Let's have a look at it in the shop and show you the nice array of options to it as well. So again, under tractors, so base configuration with nothing selected. So as interesting, so the base configuration includes £100 for a beacon light. It is 45,100 is the basic setup. It's £200 a day maintenance and 140 horsepower. Takes 218 litres of fuel and goes at 26 miles an hour. The attachers, you can have extra work lights and no extra work lights. So extra work lights will cost £800. Then you have various tyre setups. So you've got the Trelleborg tyre set, the Michelin tyre set, the Pirelli TM800 tyre set. So Michelin will add an extra 1,500. The Pirellis, which is what we have on there at the moment, will cost you an extra 1,800. And those are the two tyre sets. I think, looking at them, the Pirellis are actually a wide tyre, which is quite interesting. And which makes me wonder if the Michelin ones are maybe thins, but I need to check more. But anyway, so you have three tyre options. Design, you can have no beacon light, high filter for £1,000, aerial on weight, which is the setup that we had, for 200. Yeah, so there's two options, high filter being the expensive one. So I'm going to set up a different version of it and just bring that to here so that we can see this. And then with one beacon light on the roof, large fenders, or with two beacon lights. The large fenders are 500, the two beacon lights are 200. So this is the maximum setup. It adds an extra 3,800, which is not a huge amount from the customization. Of course, without the 100 that you have to pay. So it adds an 3,700. It's a little bit misleading, that. For a total price of 48,800. Great for a sort of lower to mid-range tractor. Actually, it's a low-end tractor, really, this. No front loader attacher, I know. So it does have attachers, but yeah, no front loader attacher. So we'll buy this, and we'll just bring this here so that we can have a look at some different options next to it. We'll jump out of this, and here it is with a slightly different setup. So this is with the standard tyres, and that's interesting. I'm not sure where. Oh right, there we go. So we have a different exhaust setup. That's quite interesting. So that is, yeah, that's quite different and quite interesting, I think. So many quite nice customizations. I really like this. This absolutely is a 5-star mod, completely and utterly worth your time having a download and having a go with it. And yeah, I think again, it's one of those ones that has the possibility of winning the competition. As I was saying, actually, the Pirellis do seem to be a wider tyre. So yeah, I would go and give this a download, check it out, give it a decent vote, because I think it deserves it. I think this is a great tractor and well worth checking out. And all that really remains from me is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this spotlight. Please give it a like, drop us a comment and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. Goodbye.